Katie Taylor and Christina Linardatou. How do you pronounce that name, Rob? It's French, and I should know this.
Linardatou.
Linardatou, or looks French, I should say, is technically speaking the first women's boxing fight to have third-party drug testing outside of commission testing. Props to them. Now, the news is coming out today, but it says this was agreed. They signed up when they signed the contracts for the fight. So, Rob, if you can, I didn't look this up. Can you quickly find out when this fight was made? I want to find out how long of a timetable they've been under VADA random drug testing. Just curious about that. And quickly, because I saw like a bunch of people having this issue, and it's a real simple thing to misunderstand. Because when we hear like things like in competition and out of competition and like random out of competition testing, people assume random out of competition testing means when you don't have fights scheduled, you are getting tested. That's not what it means. Random out of competition testing means that you can be randomly tested outside the competition window. I'm using that term specifically, guys. The competition window is a 12-hour window before and after an athletic event, and that's all athletic events. So when it's WADA and the IOC we're talking about, when it's USADA, when it's VADA, when it's UCAD, when it's any sort of testing or collection agency, a la VADA, USADA, UCAD, then that is what we're talking about. Is in competition, out of competition is that 12-hour window before and after a athletic event, competition, whatever it may be. So, for example, a fight, it's the Saturday. It's the 12 hours before you fight and the 12 hours after you fight. That's the in competition window. Any testing outside of that window is out of competition testing. And if it's random, well, then it's clearly just random out of competition testing. That's what that means. Okay, if you want to find that, like WADA.com, like just simple, easy Google searches, guys, you can find the WADA code and what this all means in certain terms. But Rob, did you find when this fight was announced, I should say?
Carlos Toro said it on the 16th of September.
16th of September.
What, like 5 weeks?
Yeah, about 5 weeks. And when's the fight? So November 2nd. So it's in like a week or so, right? Is when the fight is. So it's around what, like a 6 week or 7 week?
7, 8-ish.
It's around the training camp, I should say.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's definitely a really good start.
It's better. So.
PSK, no, you're wrong about that. VADA does follow in competition, out of competition rules. Yes. VADA is not a WADA accredited agency. Maybe that's what you would mean, PSK. Like USADA and UCAD are WADA accredited collection agencies, meaning if it's the same funding, they have the same exact testing methods, same exact testing protocols. Okay? They follow the same exact rules of what is banned, what isn't. That's what that means. VADA has, in terms of rules and certain banned substances that aren't banned, vice versa with WADA. That's where you get some issues, like a la the Billy Joe Saunders case is a prime example of what specifically maybe VADA and WADA differ on. It would be individual classifications of specific substances. It's not out and out, we don't see or we don't adhere to the competition window. No, they adhere to that. Just certain substances, they don't adhere to it. Like WADA does, for example, a la the Billy Joe Saunders case, right? Where in WADA example, it was allowed out of competition, and in VADA's case, it was banned out of competition. That's the difference. But again, they both adhere to out of competition definition, if that makes sense. But digressing, good start for Katie Taylor and Christina Linardatou.
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 Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, who cares? Sorry, I don't care right now. That's not the story. The story's not her name. The story is that it's the first women's boxing fight with having VADA testing or out of competition random testing from a third-party collection agency. That is good. That's a good start because it shows, A, there is proper funding for this fight to allow for third-party out of competition testing, right? And on top of it, it shows that promoters are willing to spend that money on women's fights to give it the legitimacy that they probably deserve. Digressing though, Rob, any thoughts on this at all?
No, it's just like you say, a step in the right direction for everything. So yeah, long may it continue.
Yeah.